John Bollinger with Premier Guitar. Today we're looking at the Plumes small signal shredder by EarthQuaker devices. Now, EarthQuaker, I really like this company. They're in Akron, Ohio, and it's a bunch of kind of gear nerds in a room, lovingly wiring stuff together one at a time. And you can kind of hear the give a shit. They care, and that's a big deal in this who cares society. I really think they do care, and they care enough where they put I think it's a lifetime guarantee with all their products. They're built well, they hold up, and most importantly, they sound good. And the Plumes is their latest invention or offering, or whatever you want to call it. And as you might suspect from the green color, what they are influenced by, it's sort of a loving homage to the 808, which I'm sure many of you out there have it. I've got the 808, had it forever. It's not my best sounding pedal, but I tend to use it a lot because I know what it's going to do. It's a standard of the industry. I think it's the first one that kind of got it right. And many of you would argue that distortion is the toughest thing to get right. You know, delays and stuff like that, sure, whatever. But when you're trying to make a box sound like an amp in distress, that is a challenge. And that's something that they're going for here. And I think they did it really well. And rather than just copying the 808, I've never understood that, why some companies will copy things that are readily available. What they're doing is they're starting with the spirit of the 808 and trying to make it better. And here's what they did. Number one, and I think most importantly, they put this toggle in the middle that gives you three very different settings. The one that we came in mode 1 is a symmetrical LED clipping, more crunch and compression. And when we came in, I had my level and my gain up at, I guess you'd say, 3 o'clock. And I had the tone down a bit. But as you turn up the level and the gain, you can really hear the compression kick in. So this is just mode 1, and here's our bass tone. And I'm playing Uno, my beloved. This is a prototype for what became the Gibson, I think it's called the Music City Les Paul. It had a Joe Glazer bender. So it's a prototype of what became that. And I'm running directly into that little Fender Blues Junior. And here's our bass tone. And here it is with it on. Come on, man. That's some nasty goodness. But when I bring down the gain, You're still getting a lot of crunch there, but not as much compression. And then if I turn down the level, here's our, turn down the level. You can hear it's less compression. So this is a cool setting. If I dime it with the gain and level all the way up, man, that is lively. So I'll get into the other two modes later, but let's talk about the tone control. This, again, like the 808, you got level, you got gain, and you got tone. But they really reimagined the tone control. Whereas I found the 808 tone control almost like adding too much high end to getting very, very muddy. This kind of, what they're trying to do is sculpt that low end and give you a clear top end and a focused mid-range. So I found, let me put the level and the gain back to the center and just kind of spin this tone around. I found that every slot is something different. So here we are, everything in the middle. But if we bring it down to, I guess that'd be about 9 o'clock. Not a big difference. Let me bring it all the way down. Kind of like that mud ball right there. Now let's put it up to, I guess, 3. They're dishing up a little slop for you. Great thing about a good overdrive, dish up all the slop you want. It makes it sound okay. So let me dime that tone. Now that's with the tone all the way up. And it's bright, but not like unusably bright. I mean, it's got some sting to it, but I mean, that's going to cut through a mix. You're definitely going to hear that. And then there's the classic 808 tube screamer setting where what they call the 666, which is where you gotta put everything like that, which all satanic references aside, it seems like a lot of rockers kind of like that, but let's put it there. Man, that's great. Okay, so that's our first mode. Second mode is no clipping. It's a wide open op amp drive for clean boost. So let me take the gain down, here's again our bass tone. Love that. And on the neck. Love that tone. You get a little dirt because it's a tube amp and when you hit it a little bit harder like that, of course you're going to get a little bit of dirt with that. But you also get this nice volume boost, so you're going to You can cut for a solo, you know, with the extra dB, but it's not obnoxiously dirty. So love that. And then, you know what, why don't I get in, let's try just some proper single coils before we get into these next two. There's our bass tone. Let's put it in the same setting. A nice boost. And of course, if you turn that gain up, and let me do the 666 thing on this. Man, I love it. The final mode over here is the asymmetrical silicone diode clipping, which is a more transparent loose feel. So let's see, this is still the 666. Go ahead and just dime it. You know, that transparent, overused term totally, but that is an accurate description. It sounds very ampy. Let's get into humbucker land. Let me grab my PRS so we can see what it does like that with a proper humbucker. Okay, so now I've got my PRS custom built, and these are PRS pickups, humbuckers, and here's our bass tone. That's on the bridge. Now let me roll it back to everything kind of in the middle, going at that third mode. It's just a good rock and roll tone. Let me just put it in this first mode a little bit too, with 666. So what I love about this, I love the 3-in-1. I love having different options. When I'm live, I tend to just, you know, in a gig, like a proper gig, I tend to just set something and forget about it. But if you're doing recording, it's wonderful to have options. And even on a set it, forget it gig, it's funny about like overdrives. Overdrive I'll love one day, I get in a different context and it just doesn't sound right or great. Sound changes wildly all the time. So it's cool that you've got the options to switch this around. So good on you, EarthQuaker. I dig it. Make sure after this video that you go to the PG site and check out all our other videos. We have endless hours of guitar geekery. I discover new stuff all the time there, and we're coming up with new stuff all the time. So check it out. Also, get the magazine, why not? Read the back page, my column there. You might You might find it fun or informative or whatever. This is John Bolger. Till next time.